Scratches, dings, and price swings take 2. Yeah, that's right. I accidentally deleted the whole thing. So I have a new coin. I mentioned this one last week, but I have a new Canadian maple leaf. It's in hand now. I bought it online for a deal. I mentioned that before. So this one came for $90 over spot. And actually, if we're getting technical, it was $89.99. And that put the final price at $19.50. And it wasn't that that was an amazing deal or anything, but that one day drop to $18.60 plus that $89.99 premium, I think that was a little bit less than 5%. Well, that made it feel like a pretty good price at the time. In the end, it was a 1 ounce gold coin for less than $2,000, and that always has some kind of psychological impact on me. Now, since we're talking about a specific coin, I'll just say that this one does have a minor scratch on it, a small ding on it as well. You can see the radius of another coin. It's a little bit of friendly fire, maybe a little gold on gold contact. This isn't enough to bother me though, really. I'm picky about my coins, but this isn't a big deal. It's really not even that uncommon, and I've damaged one of my own personally. It was actually a Canadian maple leaf itself. At that point, because I did do it myself and it was one of my early coins, it did bother me. Now, since I'm bringing this up, a scratch like this, it's not going to affect the price. The Canadian maple leaf that I damaged was a little bit worse, and the dealer did give me a hard time about it. But timing, I think, has a lot to do with it. There wasn't a lot of demand at the time, and he wanted to take 1% off. So it's really just not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. But I know a lot of people have coins show up that they purchased online, and they'll be pretty disappointed when there's a scratch or a ding on them. And I had a video recently about some buffaloes, and I noticed on camera that one of them was dinged, so I looked a little bit more closely. And about 1 in 5 either have a ding on the rim of the coin, or they have that variable rim depth that some people have talked about. And what I mean by that is if you look at the coin from the side, you'll see that the coins actually have an uneven thickness. It just seems like a big mistake from the mint. Now, I didn't notice that. Usually with me, I either notice a mistake on a coin the minute that I unbox an online order or later when I have a camera zoomed in on it. But again, there's really no issue if it's a standard bullion coin. Now this is for small dings, small scratches. They shouldn't affect the price. Now if it's a special order coin like this swan or something I was collecting, or maybe even just the very first coin of a type that I get, if they have a ding, that's a different situation. And I know anytime I take these out of the capsule, I run the risk of dropping that coin and damaging it myself. It's actually surprisingly easy to damage a 24 karat coin. I feel like it's only a matter of time with me making these videos and taking photos for Instagram. Eventually, I'll probably drop one of these things, and I guess we'll have a video about what an idiot I am. Now, you'd be surprised how much more a 22 karat coin can take. I have dropped eagles before. I've actually dropped them on camera. I've never done any damage to an eagle myself. And I'd love to do a video on that for you just to show you the difference in strength between a 24 karat gold coin and a 22 karat gold coin. But one of you will have to send me your coins because I'm not doing it on my own. And as far as the price of these things goes, if you feel like you've been missing out on buying opportunities, that doesn't seem to be the case. We keep seeing these quick dips back to $18.60 or even lower like we saw yesterday. Depending on the time frame you look at, you could say that we're on a 3-year bull run. You could say that we're in a correction from all-time highs we saw last August. Or you could say that we're in a rally from March lows. If you aren't watching spot price closely though, or just aren't playing the swing trade game, prices have been pretty boring lately. We've mostly seen sideways trading for the last week and a half or so. The thing that's clear though is that the market is pricing in some of that boring behavior. The idea that inflation is temporary, or transitory, that has been priced in. Now, I don't know that I agree that inflation is transitory, but anytime I think about price, I try not to extrapolate the immediate conditions or my thoughts on the immediate conditions. Right now is a great example of why I don't do that. If you look at what we have going on right now, consumer spending is up 20% from 2019. Jobs numbers are better month over month and year over year. But I wouldn't say that we'll continue to see that kind of growth. I'd say it's temporary. And as that cools off, then it's a question of what inflation is doing when it does and whether or not it continues as an offset. Same goes for bond yields. Same goes for US dollar strength. None of us knows what any of these conditions are going to look like a year from now. So if we extrapolate what's happening right now, or we extrapolate only what we think is going to happen, then I guess we're multiplying an anomaly. And I think that's how we get some of those wild numbers. Regardless, though, it just doesn't matter what I think. Trader confidence is what matters. And you could probably even argue that the price of gold doesn't exactly track those things to begin with. But the point is that the market seems to think inflation's transitory and the economy's recovering. And that drives price. So realistically, I think we'll continue seeing higher gold prices over the long term. But I also think we'll continue to see buying opportunities. That happens as the market continues to price in these other factors like short-term consumer spending and jobs numbers. So I'm not here trying to analyze or predict the price of gold. I'm just kind of laying out the individual moving parts. You can work through these parts on your own. Do you think the economic recovery will continue? Do you think the consumer spending is going to continue to go up? Do you think the jobs gains are going to continue to increase? Do you think inflation will continue? Bond yields, US dollar strength? I really never have an idea what's going on with those. Maybe you do. But if you look at any one of those variables by itself and then you try to extrapolate it, that's what I think leads people to rationalize some of these crazy exaggerated price predictions. Now, personally, I'm somewhere in the middle. And I'm still happy with this purchase. This is not my very first choice, but the Canadian Maple Leaf is always at the top of my list. And the fact that I can find one for under $2,000, 1 ounce gold Canadian Maple Leaf for under $2,000, I think is a good thing. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm buying what I like when it's convenient. At the moment, I'm sticking to my schedule, and then I'm just trying to find those small drops in price, whether that comes from spot price, premium, or both. The important thing is that I'm continuing to accumulate. I think that it's an important hedge, whether we see a price spike or not, whether I even plan to sell it or not. The value in gold is pretty apparent to me over the long term. So tomorrow we get another chance to see what the Fed thinks about inflation. Paul Tudor Jones is getting a lot of attention lately. He's a billionaire hedge fund manager. And in yesterday's interview, he said that if the Fed comes out of Wednesday and says things are good, that he's going to go all in on what he calls inflation trades. That includes commodities, crypto, and gold. I think I'm already there, regardless of what the Fed says, especially on that last part. I'm guessing a few of you are too, but let me know in the comments what you think. While you're there, hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification button. Hit them all if you're into this kind of topic. And if you made it this far, thanks again for watching. I always appreciate your time. Take care.